everybody. It's Paula with Van Vita Travels. Paula, car camper. Whew, I can't believe it's Saturday already. And you guys, I am exhausted. Exhausted. I literally did not leave my campsite today except to go to the washroom and dump my garbage. I have not started the car. I'm actually at Cypress Hills Interprovincial Campground on the Saskatchewan side. I am on center block. I am going to ask everyone to put a 1 in the chat if you can hear and see me well, and then I can see you and I can say hello. I'm doing this on my phone through StreamYard. So again, another new way for me. So I see Diane is here. Hello, Sandy. Good to see you here. Diane, Mayhem RV, Bree, She Devil Adventures. So nice to see you guys. Oh, it's already jumping some. So I see Floss is here and Georgiana is here. RV Living Life. Hello, guys. How are you? Good to see you. Talea, hello, hello. Tim with Mobang Fairbucks. How you doing? Good to see you here. You're freezing. Is my service sucking right now? Video is choppy, but sound is good. Oh, no, you guys. Maybe I won't be able to do this for very long today. Hey, Kaylee. Hey, Michelle. Well, if it continues to be crappy, then this is going to be an extremely short live stream. So yeah, I'm in Saskatchewan right now. I got to the campground here last night and I haven't even driven around the campground. I've been here before many years ago. In fact, I have, hi Auntie, I have some really great memories of Cypress Hills when I was in grade 8 and went to school out here, and it was the closest thing I ever had to going to camp. And I was here about 10 years ago with one of my really good friends and her kids and Braden and I. So this place has always had great memories. Hello, Annie. Good to see you. Just don't move too much. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. What do you mean? Oh, maybe if I freeze in funny ways, that's going to be so embarrassing. So I've been camping in the car, and you know what? There are a lot of perks to it, you guys. Same time, there's other benefits in the ambulance. So I'm kind of torn between the two. Which do you guys think you would find the best to travel in? In the car, which a minivan would be bigger, but I'm an SUV, or the ambulance. Which do you think would be easier? It's fun. It looks like stop motion. Oh no. You can hear her talking without her lips moving. Hey, Neil. Dang it, you guys. I don't know if I should walk down the road and see if that's any better. Oh, no. I'll see, because we are in a very wooded treat area. And I look like an idiot talking to myself. That's new. If the service gets better, let me know right away, and then I'll just stop and park myself on the ground. Yes, definitely the Ambo has a lot more room. The Folgers, the Folgematic, I'm not kidding. I love that thing. To anybody that thinks you cannot use that to go to the washroom, you are so wrong. Because there are times where you have to go in the middle of the night. You don't want to get up because you're in bear country, because that happened earlier this week. But you're really thankful that you have it. And you can use it for everything. It is so easy. So easy, you guys. I don't know why we didn't keep one of those with us all the time when we traveled with kids, right? Let me see. Just tell people I'm self-employed and I'm having a staff meeting. I think you've used that line before, Keely. Ambo, safety first. Sometimes you feel like a nut, sometimes you don't. It depends on where and why. Jeff needs to move around, have in the room. Hello, Karen. Good to see you here. Karen thinks car camping. Now I'm scrolling back again. If you go in the car, you cramp for leg room if you're tall. Actually, the less movement, the better. Uh-oh. Hey, Steve. Car camping in the rain is definitely not as much fun. Or snow. You guys, I have 7 videos uploaded, like filmed, put together and uploaded to show you guys. And yeah, I had come across snow. I went from like 100 degrees Fahrenheit to freezing. It's been interesting. Jeff's going to stick with his rolling condo. Oh, I just lost the chat completely. Did I lose you guys? Oh, it is. Oh, I think people are coming. Dang it. It is much easier to stay warm in the car without using any services. Oh, people are coming, boy. I'm going to look like a complete idiot. Yeah, you guys are all there, still there? Okay, good, 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 good. Oh, there's some cute puppies. Just watch. Hi. Hi. So, is the service getting better or worse? Not park a place, a spot. It seems like a lot of people are coming in here now for a Saturday night. Saskatchewan folks are always friendly. Oh my goodness. More cars are coming in. Is this getting any better or worse? I gotta stop and read. Oh yeah, I missed the puppies. I think it's YouTube because you're in another live and there's nothing but technical difficulties. Well, I do know I am kind of really rural. I am in a campground though. After spending the week boondocking, I was exhausted. I had a couple things happen in the last couple days that maybe weren't quite so positive. And so I was like, you know what? I just want to relax. I work Monday morning. I'm like 2 hours away from where I work. And I'm just camping myself right here. So I found the provincial park and it costs me, because you have to pay your entry fee to be in the park plus the camping with no power. So I'm $30 a day. So for 3 nights, yeah, it was $90, but I hadn't spent any money other than the 23 camping in the Kootenay National Park. So I figured for the safety and the relaxation, like today I read an entire book. It was fabulous. Okay, now I'm gonna stop moving. It's good enough. Okay, I gotta move to where I can just sit for a minute. Oh my God, you guys, I look like such an idiot. So I'm out of my camping area. I can show you. I am in the section called Deer Hollow. And I'm just gonna come up to this trail. I'm on the road. Actually, this golf course just in behind me. Really disappointing thing right now, you guys, is in our parks, you always get free firewood, but we have a high fire risk. I'm just gonna sit on this path. We have a high fire risk, so we're not allowed to have any fires. Whoa, his stand is not gonna stay. Okay, now I know I missed a gazillion comments. Can someone let me know if you can see me? Well, I should put you this way so people don't see my face, but you can see everybody driving by. This doesn't want to stand. Pop a squat, you betcha. Someone's hauling a rattly trailer. This is not really the best spot, is it? Keely can see me. So can everybody driving by. I'm literally just sitting outside. I think I'm gonna... Oh, shoot. I'm gonna walk down a little bit because I think there's a bench down this path. And it should be open enough. Oh, hello. We'll just say they're friendly. I'm moving. This is ridiculous. Okay. Did you stay warm at night? Yeah, actually I did. So I did bring my buddy heater in case it got really cold. Now, if I used the buddy heater, it would have seriously overpowered the car. Like, it would have been too hot. But I had my sleeping bag, and I actually had bought this little tablecloth, one of those kind of insulated-ish sort of tablecloths so they don't slide around. And I had a different purpose for it in mind that I didn't use it for, but I put it over top of me in the sleeping bag as well. Plus, I have reflectix on every window, and I was great. Like, it did hit below freezing the night we got snow, but it wasn't much snow. Most of it melted by the time I wanted to leave. Just a little bit still on the car, but I did good. It was cool to get up out of bed. And then last night got pretty cold here too. Now that I'm back, because that was when I was in the foothills in British Columbia. So I was just outside of the mountains. You guys have no idea how, so I did no planning for this trip whatsoever. And I just went all over the place. Like I went, if you know Canada, I should have a map to show you this. I drove from Saskatchewan all the way to Calgary without any stops. It would be 8.5 hours. Unloaded all my stuff, son's stuff, spent the night with him and the guys that he's living with in their place, and left the next day, went to Banff, ended up in BC and stayed there. And then I was like, I checked out a couple things around Banff, which I have videos to show you guys. And then I'm like, well, I've been to Banff a lot before. I've showed you guys stuff in Banff before. Where else do I want to go? So I started looking up these apps for boondocking because I had yet to boondock in Canada. So I found this one that was about an hour and a half outside of Calgary. Now, the reason I wanted to go somewhere outside of Calgary too is I wanted to get away from all the city lights because the auroras, the northern lights, are supposed to be really good. Well, where I went, it didn't even matter. It was cloudy, so I never got to see them. But because I found that place, that was the dam, actually, that I just put my last video out. I met a really nice couple, Victor and Gloria, and we talked about another place that was Horse Thief Canyon, and that's out at Drumheller. And I had thought I'd never been to Drumheller. I couldn't remember it until I got there and I saw the world's biggest dinosaur. And I was like, oh, yeah, I climbed that before. So I toured a lot of stuff out there that I hadn't seen because I'd only been out that area once about 10 years ago. Hey, Daryl. Hey, Fair Passage. So where was I? Oh, yeah. So then I'm around Drumheller area. And then I heard of, well, where was I? Oh, then I went to Vulcan, Alberta. If you're a Trekkie, you're going to like that video coming out. And then from there, I went down past the Chain Lakes, which is almost to BC again, but way farther south than I had been. And from there, where did I go? I drove like a 5-hour day to get to here. Yeah, it's just crazy, you guys. How are we? I'm going to just go sit in the grass. Sure, now that I'm moving around, no one's driving by and honking. Okay. Oh, boy. I'm sorry, you guys. Ooh, that is not standing the way I want it to. Doing contortions in a car is no fun. So, with the bed, I bought this little board when I was in IKEA with my son. We were looking to get him a desk for his room. And so I saw this really big, kind of like almost like a tabletop kind of shelf. And it was like marked right down. So I grabbed it to stabilize and level the area that I was sleeping. And so the foamies I had underneath, I ended up moving above. And I'm actually super comfortable. You can hear you, or we can hear you. Can you guys see me okay here? Okay, now I'm going to stop and be reading the chat. I'm so sorry, you guys. So now, anyways, I'm back in southwest Saskatchewan. But the car has been really great. The reason that I've really liked the car is I can go everywhere and anywhere that I want. Fuel is 50 cents a liter cheaper, and I get twice the gas mileage almost. I get like 22 to 24 miles per gallon, whereas the ambulance is like 12 to 14. So, hey, Alan. Hey, Ann. Thanks, Steve. So, I mean, it was way more affordable to try to do this in a car right now. In the ambulance, it would have just been ridiculously expensive. So, yeah. So this tied up a lot of freedom for me. But on the cold night or the little bit of rainy times, were times that I just wanted to chill and relax. I really miss the ambulance. I miss being able to have a shower in there instead of using wet wipes all the time here. Um, I miss the space, the room for cooking. I miss my microwave. I miss having a reliable power system. Honest to goodness, I have this little. It's kind of like a battery pack. I don't even know for sure how much power storage it has, but it's for jump starting a car, which never works for the ambulance because the ambulance is too big. But for my SUV, it's ideal. And it had a a hose for filling my tires. Well, that part broke long time ago. Hello, Kelly. Hey, Dream on Wheels. Hey, Marianne. So that part it broke, but I took this power thing with me. I thought, oh, it's a lot of room, but oh, what the heck, I'll take it anyways. So I've been using it every night to charge the amp or charge my phone because I've been recording in 4K on my phone. Hey, Wanna Wander. I, I I've been doing all this recording. I've been doing all my editing, plus driving through mountains and treed areas when service is sketchy. It takes a lot more power. So my little power pack was almost empty. It is almost empty. And so yesterday morning, and there's going to be a video coming out in a couple of weeks about this, but I yesterday was an absolutely gorgeous location. It was so beautiful and so great. There was a boondocking spot that I didn't go all the way to because it was raining, and the some of those roads are really sketchy and slick, right? So it's like, okay, well, this first spot, it's not far off the highway, it'll work great. So I stopped there. Towards the evening, a Jeep pulls up alongside me, and the guy gets out and he has a gun. And I'm like, oh shit. I'm like, oh my God, I'm here all by myself, and this guy's got a gun. But then I'm peeking through my reflectix out the side window, right? And I'm like, well, it's a rifle. And then I see he's wearing all camo. And then I notice he's got um a camo backpack. So I was like, okay, well, maybe he's going backwoods camping. A lot of people will park in a certain spot and they'll hike out into the middle of nowhere and camp. So I thought, well, instead of being afraid, I'm just going to open the door, let him know I'm here, and say hello. Oh, Nate, thank you. Here's a whole gallon of Canadian gas. Yes, RV Living Life. This is a Whistler hat. Oh, you guys, how could I forget? Let's wish my brother DJ a happy birthday. His birthday was on the 7th. He is now the age I was when I just finished university and I was in my 30s. So, DJ, if you're watching this now or you see it later, I know I texted you happy birthday, but I just want to let you know how much I love you. So, yeah. Oh, hey, Janice. Sorry, guys. Yeah, I am chilly. So the other night I was wearing a t-shirt, a light hoodie, my regular hoodie, and this jacket and 3 pairs of pants. Anyways, where was I? Well, yeah, so this guy's got this gun, and I'm like, so are you like backcountry camping? And he's like, nope. Oh, damn, that's only half a gallon, Nate. Thank you, Tim. You guys are so cute. Um, So he goes, no, he was hunting. Well, where I'm from, when people are, I was like, oh, yeah, it's September. Are you hunting deer? And people that hunt where I'm from wear orange. They dress all in orange, not camo. Anyways, it's like, well, yeah, deer, but I'm looking for bear. Like, I knew there was bear in that area, and I had read that there was grizzlies. Black bear's one thing, grizzlies are another story altogether. And so I'd asked him if what he had seen, and he had seen black bear. He said, but he hadn't seen a grizzly, but he had heard of them out there too. So, hey, Lucy, good to see you. Yeah, I was like, oh crap. So I was a little more freaked out. That was when I was really glad I had the Folger can because, it was just easier. Hi. So it was just easier and way more convenient that way. And then in the morning, though, it had snowed, it was cold, I'm gonna warm up the car, I was trying to think of where I'm gonna go next, and I was like, I just gotta leave this area because of the bears. I can't get out and enjoy anything if there's all these bears, and there are apparently hunters everywhere trying to shoot them. and they all dress in camo. So, like, I don't know. Someone's gonna get hit. I don't know. Anyways, the car wouldn't start. I was like, you've got to be freaking kidding me. The car won't start. You guys, I've just had so much bad luck in 2022. I got another story to tell you about my keys. Remind me in a minute. So then I remember my booster pack, but it was almost dead. So I still put it on, and it was just enough juice in there to kickstart it and get me going. And I was like, a couple years ago, I didn't even know how to boost my own car. This is something we should be teaching all of our kids and everyone we know is how to do it and to keep stuff with you. I don't care how much room it takes. If you need it to keep yourself independent and safe, you need to have it. And I was so glad that I brought it with me because I also had canceled my CAA membership, which is like your AAA in the States. And I had one bar of service that kept cutting in and out. Right. So, and then once I got to start and I was driving out, like every little approach, there was trucks and there's people everywhere out there hunting bears. So there's a chance of getting shot by someone accidentally, making a mistake. And there's a chance of a bear because everybody knows that's bear country. I don't know. I don't know. Kind of freaked me out a little bit. So then I'm like, you know what? Screw it. I'm going to where I know I'm 100% safe. Because last week, where I live in my province, we had that stabbing rampage. You guys probably have heard on the news where these two brothers were out and I don't even know, like a dozen people have died and how many more injured. And their last had been suspected being an hour away from where I live in Weyburn. So, I mean, I was really, really glad that I wasn't even in the province at the time. But it's just like, wow, you don't know what's going to happen. Did they find the second brother? I'm not sure. I haven't been up with the news. I keep shutting my phone off, putting it into airplane mode just to conserve some of my energy. That's why you wear a bright reflective vest. Absolutely. And I had just bought this bright orange shirt with Every Child Matters. Um, and I guess I should have been wearing that, but it's a t-shirt and it's cold. Yeah, that stabbing was crazy. Does anybody Oh, yeah, they did get the other brother? Good. Thanks, Nate, for that update. So I know there were some people that were worried about me, and I had said before, well, I think I'm safer being in a national park. And then a subscriber was telling me how they used to live out in Banff and different places you can stay and different things that have gone on. And if you watched my live stream from Banff, the guy that drives one of the buses ended up on my live stream with me, and he said it's very different at night out there. There's a lot of people. There's a lot of people that come out at night that are a little unsavory. Yeah, if you see a bear run, well, there's all sorts of things you're supposed to do. It depends. Oh my goodness. Bear safety 101. Everyone's like, just lay down and fall, pretend you're dead. Well, not always, right? So if the bear is startled or being, you know, protective but not aggressive, then you keep eye contact, you make noise, you make yourself big, and you walk away slowly. But if it's aggressive, get the hell out of there as fast as you can. Climb anything you can, run anywhere you can. Do not lay down and play dead. Fight it off with everything that you have. So it depends on which kind of bear and which mood it's in. Like, I'm going to go, excuse me, are you being aggressive with me? Or is this just because I'm in your space? Right? Like, who knows? Oh, Dayami says hi. Hey, babe, good to see you. Oh, he won't be doing any more stabbing anymore. Yeah. And we don't have to house him for the rest of his life. Yeah, I guess he did pass. But he came from an area that's in one of our top two highest crime communities in the province and in the top 10 in Canada. And where I live is great. We're safe. Here people come and go and I can wave and say hey, even though I don't know them. But there are some places that just aren't the same. Okay, so Nate says with a grizzly you play dead and a black bear you fight, but they false charge a lot. Yeah. You know what? If I saw a bear up close and personal, I don't even think I would remember any of the options. I'd probably just stand there frozen. Hey, Tracy, good to see you here. So, yeah, it was really interesting. Oh, okay. So, you guys have known this year all the things that have been going wrong, and I don't let it stop me, although I have my little cries. Well, some of them are bigger than others, but I just keep going, right? But there has been a lot of times lately where even the smallest thing, just I want to like lose it. So, have I shown you guys what happened with my keys this last week? Don't you know who I am? I'm Paula. Excuse me, Bear. You better get your ass back over there. Yeah, pretend I'm tougher. So Jeff's whacked a black bear in the head a few times when he lived in the mountains in Pennsylvania. Wow, that's crazy. Okay, so I'm gonna tell you guys some learning. I know how to pull my steering column apart and all sorts of fabulous stuff. I almost thought I wasn't even gonna get Braden's stuff to Calgary. Paula would have that bear looking for a rabbit. That's right, get your fuzzy butt up out of my space. So this is the kind of key that I have for my Equinox. Well, I have two keys. Recently just found one of the sets, so it had been missing for a long time. But I'm going to show you really close. Do you see where this square is and then the blade is separate? So I take out my keys, I go to start the car when I'm at home in Weyburn, and I look at this part and it's black all here. This piece is completely missing. And I'm like, what? How does this happen, right? So I went out to the car and I looked in the ignition and I see something silver in there. I'm like, oh crap, my key must have broken it. And so I'm went through a couple hours of researching things and trying to figure stuff out, pulling things apart, trying to get a ignition coil or ignition. There's this little tool that you pop your ignition coil part out of the cylinder. Anyways, the long and the short of it is I was taking tweezers trying to pull what I thought was this piece out of my ignition because it's not magnetic either. Well, darned it all. If all of a sudden the little silver thing pushed in, I pushed it in more. Well, that was just a silver flap. A silver flap in the ignition that moves when the key goes in. Hey, RV World Traveler, good to see you. So I'm like, well, then nothing's in there. So I grabbed the other set of keys, stuck it in, and started the car. I'm like, are you freaking kidding me? Are you kidding me? I was like panicking. I was like, how am I going to get Braden his stuff? Because he went ahead to Calgary with his friend, and I said I'd come up with his stuff. I didn't need him with me for the drive. It was all good. So yeah, Fatima, with all the crazy issues, am I enjoying it? Yes, I am. You guys going to see a series of videos that I've seen things that are different for me or things that I never realized about where I live. Or, okay, you guys have heard me say before, driving through the prairies is so boring. No, it's not. Hey, Christine, good to see you. Hi, Annie, good to have you back. Hey, Victoria, good to see you. The number one highway is just boring through here. I went from Nanton, Alberta to Medicine Hat, so that's like 5 hours. And I took secondary highways and it was awesome. It was so cool. And I don't know, that's where the beauty is. Where I live, it's like everything looks flat until you hit a valley. And then it's just gorgeous. But I saw like giant dams that I didn't even know existed and boondocking spots that I had no idea. Oh crap! And I found out we have rattlesnakes in Canada. We have rattlesnakes in Canada. Yeah, found that out after I was toodalooing on a hike and come back and did some more research and went, what? There's rattlesnakes here, so I now know the Badlands are not places I want to do any more hiking. Seen it, done it, on my way. I'd rather run the risk of a bear than a snake. A bear, you might hear it coming. It's bigger, you can see it. But there's something evil about snakes. I don't know. I can't. They are my biggest phobia. Biggest phobia. Anyways. Oh, I just feel like I'm rambling on and on. What's new? Hey, Tom. Hit me with your questions, you guys. Um, I did have the car very, very comfy. Oh, wait a minute. Rattlesnakes are no big deal to Steve. Well, that's because you live in Arizona. So, Dream on Wheels says they went all through the desert of the US and never saw one. Oh, yeah, me. I know, but it was winter then, right? Never see a rattlesnake and get back to Canada and there's rattlesnakes. And I don't even like garter snakes, you guys. Not at all. Just bite the snake before it bites you. Ah! Oh, Christine, you have an ambulance too. Awesome. So, I do. Ultimately, I prefer the ambulance. I do. It's comfortable. It's home. It could be raining, snowing, any temperature, and I'm comfortable in there. If I had to stay in for a couple days, it's great. In the car, I mean, I get dressed. I'm comfy when I sleep. I have room to use my full dramatic, but that's it. There's more pressure to be outside of the car than there is the ambulance. Rattlesnakes are evolving and not even using their rattles anymore? What? Oh, great. Now you're scaring me. What was my greatest car challenge? And no, don't want to go snake hunting with you, Steve. The greatest challenge in the car, I think was actually my feeling of safety. I felt safer in the ambulance. I don't know why. Like it's bigger and stronger and not as easy to break into or smash a window. Um, yeah, I just feel safer in the ambulance in general. Because even like, and I have Reflectix. First of all, that's amazing for controlling the temperature in the car. Absolutely amazing. But I mean, it's too easy to break in, and I have black over on my Reflectix. So first, it just looks like an abandoned car, and I'm always worried that someone's gonna come up and try to get in it. I also could have tried car camping in Calgary, but I've never done that yet. And it was so busy and hectic there that I couldn't bring myself to do it yet. I don't know. I couldn't do it. Think about put a deck on a van. Yeah, RV living life, you feel safe in the bus is like home to you. Yeah, and you know what? The car is great for traveling, keeping expenses zipping all over the place because I definitely wouldn't have traveled as much if I was in the ambulance. But I don't know. It is like a home in the ambulance. I mean, and I did live in it for 3.5 months, but that was still vacation, right? I'm really happy with the build that I did in there. Floss would rather run into a rattlesnake before a copperhead. I don't know. They're all snakes. I don't want that experience, Tracy. I should have a few stickers on the windows. You feel lucky today, punk? Nah. I did take off any Van Vita sticker that I had on the car before I left too. Because if anybody looked up, it was pretty obvious that I was by myself. Victoria, your face. How do you lose weight so fast? My face really looks old this week. I don't know if I'm just dehydrated, but I might have lost a little bit of weight. I'm doing keto, although I did cheat one day. I mean, it was homemade apple pie and ice cream. Really, I had no choice. But yeah, I'm just kind of losing it from first when I'd rather lose it off my butt. Yeah, I wouldn't want to run into a cobra either. Yeah, no, my face is just like till my skin bounces back with some of the weight there. I don't know. Oh, you didn't know I put a shower in the ambulance? Yeah, it's just a simple version. I actually have it with me in case I used it on the road, but it was either extreme hot or extreme cold, and I've never been private enough anywhere to do it. But I did score a free shower, and there's a video out that'll tell you all about that. And I've probably made, well, I put out 2 and I have 7 more to go to post. Like they're already uploaded. So I made a lot of videos in a short time too. Yeah, I do feel like in the car I can cover more area for sure. I think the perfect world would be like a minivan or a small van that has 4x4. Wouldn't that be the ultimate? But I will tell you one thing. I will car camp again. Absolutely. It when a person's pretty much not as well off as they are other times, it doesn't limit you. I still got to feel some freedom. So I am going to build the bed a bit better. I'm going to have things set up more permanent in there. I am keeping those back seats out. I do like that option. Just trying to catch up. I am missing Nate, you guys. I really am. It's crazy. It's nice to hear that I prefer the Ambo. Yeah. Well, it's nice to know my face is looking thinner, guys. Hopefully the rest will come along with. But if they're honking their horns at me because they're from Saskatchewan. It's just like a hate. It's just like when anytime you go into a little community, everybody waves, everybody does a thing up, tap the visor or over the steering wheel. It's such a Saskatchewan thing to do. Hey, Van Life Voyages, hashtag where's my Nate? I know, I know. I am so glad that, at first I really hated the fact that Braden and Nate were leaving at the same time, but because I left and took some time off, it has made this week so much easier. And I think that's why I've been traveling a ridiculous amount. Like I've been go, 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 except for today. And I was super tired today. Like I was even thinking I might not even do this live stream, but I'm glad that I did because I miss you guys. Ontario is gorgeous. The little bits that I have seen, I definitely want to travel that more. Just flip people off. New. Janice says, no, we will like car camp again. Oops, it jumped. Needed physio afterwards. Car was not friendly. LOL. Now I'm 5'8", and so because I took the seats out and I go all the way across from my head by the back of the front seat to the end, I have enough room if I lay perfectly flat. It's just not as wide as the ambulance bed, and it's just me, so it's actually quite fine. And actually, it's been really comfortable. The only night that I had a bad sleep was I ended up staying at a truck stop. It got late fast, and I forgot how it's getting darker so much quicker. So that was a truck stop night, and that I never had a problem with in the ambulance, but in the car, I don't know. It just felt a little bit off. It's climate control 24/7. It is easier to keep the ambulance temperature regulated for me versus the car. I don't know why. Sorry, guys, I'm just scrolling back. Yeah, Ontario is totally beautiful, Auntie. I definitely want to see a lot more of it. Yeah, I did go to Drumheller. So I have tours of the Hoodoos. I have the 11 Bridges to Wayne, which is like a really old hotel. It's kind of like a biker bar. And I went in there and I didn't want to have a drink, so that's why I got the pie and ice cream. I don't know what I make no sense on this stuff, you guys. But what else did I see? I didn't go to the museum. I had actually been to a couple years ago. I did boondock out by Drumheller, and it was a really cool spot. You guys will see that video soon too. So yeah, no, I'm really happy with the places that I went and the stuff that I did, but I couldn't just sit when I'm in the car that I could with the ambulance. I just couldn't stay planted in one spot. Once I saw everything I thought I wanted to see, I felt like I had to go. So I drove every single day. But that takes its toll even if you're not driving a lot. And because I'm a fly by the seat of my pants kind of person. It's how I did my Arizona trip. But I had nothing really planned. And so, as fun as that is coming across really interesting things you didn't know, it's also a bit stressful because it's like, where am I going to sleep tonight? Or, oh my gosh, it's dark. So, I got to find a place that I can like plant myself, right? Mm, yeah, I should try. I got to start with quit cheating on keto. It is much easier to stay warm when Nate is there. And we'll get into it. Yeah, he's an oven. Uh, Biker bar. Yep, biker bar. And there was a campground right by there that there was a couple different vans on it, but I didn't know the area and I was by myself and I don't feel comfortable as a woman really in a bar. I was expecting it. Well, it's a restaurant too, but yeah, it was super cute. I have some clips and stuff in there and I would totally go again, but I would just want someone with me. I don't know. It's so funny. There's so many things that never used would have scared me before that do now. And I think some of that's just a little bit of wisdom with age. It doesn't mean that something bad's gonna happen, but do you really need to take a chance? Um, yeah. I went in, I saw it, I bought something and left. So it was good. It was really good. Mm. Yeah, I can leave the car running. That's always an option for sure. Yeah, the ambulance was already insulated, but I put way more insulation in it. The only things that aren't insulated are the doors. And I was gonna do that, but then I'm like, okay, with some of the stuff and the moving parts in there, I'm not gonna use a fiberglass kind of insulation. I'm gonna find that board, like the pink or blue board, and I'm gonna probably do that, but I'm gonna leave that for now. I know I missed a lot of these, you guys. Sorry. Oh, RV living life for more pie and ice cream. Oh, you're a doll. Because, okay, yes, I had been on the diet. Nate, how many days have we been doing keto now? I forget even the day we started. And so I had the one cheat. And then I had sushi yesterday. But that doesn't count because I'm still not back in ketosis because I got these little things that let me know if I'm on keto or not, like if I'm in ketosis or not. But that makes me feel better about the ice cream. Let me see where I'm at. Oh, and thank you, moderators, for making sure that you're saying thanks for the super chats too, in case I missed them. You guys are amazing. I just adore you guys so much. Bikers tip the best in bars. I bet they do. One thing I do wish. Yeah, I totally camp with you too. Um, oops. Sorry, guys. Awesome. That's cool. I just got to this point where I'm like, all I did was eat and crave junk and just was never satisfied. And I mean, of course, my weight's a huge issue, but I was so sluggish. It would be like by the time I'd be done work, I'd be in bed watching TV and eating. Like, that's just not a way to live. That's not having enough energy or ability to function like a normal person. I do wish that I had brought my carbon monoxide detector with me in the car, and then maybe if I had the windows cracked, I would have ran the buddy heater on that coldest night, but I didn't need it. So, I mean, that was good to know. When I'm in there, it retains the heat really, really well. Really well. So, that is definitely a perk. It takes more to heat up the ambulance because it's more space, but it's easier to regulate the temperature that way in the ambulance as well. So RV Living Life says yesterday I had a huge meal, then popcorn, and then ice cream and a few beers. Eat and drink what you want for 6 hours a day. Yeah. Hey, Eric. Um, what did I miss? Yeah, brag, brag, brag. I thought we were friends. Drinking olive oil and using your food automatically release ketones in your liver. Yeah, uh it usually doesn't take me very long to get into ketosis. So, but that pie and ice cream really did a number. Whatever. I am on my trip and I gave in once. I realized it is not worth it for how long it kicked me out. But I mean, otherwise, eating keto on this trip has been so easy. There's so much that I don't have to cook. And I'm taking my little butane stove with me, and it's great. Oh, and I got this little collapsible kettle, and it does heat up water faster. So I really like that too. Definitely appreciated it a lot. Do you guys even know I'm in this big open space? And there's the road where people keep driving by. Boop-a-doo. So I'm like in this big open field area. Oh, well. If they would just stop and ask, I could tell them about my channel. Plan to travel as the weather goes. Hey, Jules, no, someone stole your truck on Thursday. Jules, no. Your whole setup? Jeez. And see, now that's a reason why in SUV, it was more scary than in the ambulance. First of all, I feel like a car is easier to steal, more of an option. I don't know. Van Life Way just said, I'm so glad beer and whiskey are carb calorie free. Are you sure on that? Are you? I have an electric blanket. You need a really good power system for that to work. So it's actually easier for me to run the diesel heater or the buddy heater than it is to have enough power to power an electric blanket. They're like 100, the one I have is 175 watts, and it doesn't take long for that to burn it up. And I feel, I maybe it's weird, but I feel safer with the diesel heater. So that always works for me. But I like having multiple options because if you guys had seen, was it last winter? No, the winter before that when I got my batteries died and I was stranded in the really, really cold. Now I got multiple ways to heat. So it's a lot easier and a lot less stress. I'm just trying to catch with the chat. Next time, take your fur babies with you to keep you warm. I feel like I just got one or two things I want to do the ambulance for cooling. Um, I think actually I could just add one or two more solar panels because my battery storage is pretty good and I got a fan that works really well in there that's portable. It actually works really good and that doesn't use that much power, so it'll be okay for the dogs. And when it's cold, it's easier for me to keep them warm in there. In the car, like when it was like 100 Fahrenheit, there's no way those dogs would have been okay in the car when I wanted to go in places I couldn't take them. And they're bed hogs. Just saying. What did I miss? Wine has a few calories. Stupid diet. Enjoy whatever you want for 6 hours as well. You would love to see me cook on keto? Well, tonight what I had was some shrimp, and I have this sauce to make guacamole. And so I put that in with my shrimp. It was really good. I made guacamole the other day. I fried up a steak the other night. I had pork shoulder fried up the night before that. I snacked on celery and dill dip, and I have pumpkin seeds and sunflower seeds and almonds and cheese crisps and sugar-free jello and water, sugar-free water flavoring. My coffee, I use my protein shakes. And I have protein shakes. So, like, and I got cans of tuna and mussels and oysters and like stuff that's shelf stable and super easy to keep. I'm getting a little bit better at having people seeing me record. Like, it was a big deal for me to be walking through Banff downtown doing a live stream. That was pushing through some other fears that I had, and I was glad that I did it. Beer is not keto. Whiskey is, though. I don't need a big dog to snuggle with. I just need Nate to come back. That's all I need. Oh, Jules, thank goodness you emptied it out. So anyone that doesn't know, a lot of us here met Jules at Box Van D's meetup in Quartzsite, Arizona this last winter. And so she had a nice setup. I'm so glad you had it out at least before the truck was stolen, because you probably wouldn't have got your money back for all the stuff that was in there, because it's not normal, like it's not a typical thing to have all of that stuff in there and things built out and whatever. So it would have been a bigger issue with insurance, I'm sure. But I am gonna fix up the car so it's a little bit better, and I'm not gonna put the back seats in. There's no reason for me to have them in there. Big Mac is not keto, Jeff. Um, oh, good. Good for you. Hey, camping therapy, good to see you. Thanks to my sister-in-law Amy and Tracy with Tumbleweed RV Life, I do know a couple drinks that aren't as bad. That are only one carb if I want to have an alcoholic drink. But yeah, some of those drinks I just can't stand. Like they're like tonic water with a little bit of flavoring. Are you planning on selling the house and moving in the Ambo? Not yet. I right now I when I get back home I'm rebuilding the basement. I finally got stuff worked out with insurance so that I can start. I have the approval to start rebuilding because it's just been sitting there empty all summer, cleaned out but empty. So I'm going to start working on that. Right now property values have dropped a lot, so it's really the worst time for me to sell the house. So, I don't know. I still have the Ambo. I still love it. I'm still keeping it, but I'm going to still keep paying down some of my debt and having a little bit of life like this in the meantime, right? Um, I just, there's so many times that I got so depressed since I came back thinking I was never going to get to go anywhere or do anything again. And now this whole car camping thing has really opened things up for me. I feel like it provides a lot more options and more affordability. And I don't know. I like it. I like it. And don't forget too for space. It's not like before when a person just goes tent camping, you stuff your vehicle right full and then you pull it all out and you set it all up. Well, everything is in. I didn't bring a tent. I didn't even bring a lawn chair, although next time I think I will bring a lawn chair. But I mean, honestly, I had everything I needed. Uh, Yeah, I ate a lot of that sugar-free Jello. I had a hard time, especially at first, well, and I still do. The sugar part is the hardest thing for me on keto. But if you have a little bit of Cool Whip, all full fat, it's less carbs. So I'll put a little Cool Whip with my Jello, although I don't have any Cool Whip with me because it wouldn't last in my cooler. Which the cooler that I have that doesn't plug in is absolute crap, and I can't believe how much it goes to ice. Whereas in the ambulance, I have my 12-volt cooler, and I love it. So one thing I do want to do to continue car camping in between times is I want to get a really oh Jesus, yeah, hello, jet. It's getting darker. You probably don't see that from where you're seeing me. It's like I don't even realize they're looking at me. I'm gonna have to rewatch it and see how much I just jumped. What was I talking about? Jello. Oh, but I want to get a flat, flexible solar panel just on the roof of or of the car, so it's less noticeable. But I do want to have that separate way of getting things powered up. I don't want to charge anything from my alternator in there because I have a very small engine. Like I think it's only a 4-cylinder. Like it's terrible and it doesn't have enough power. So I don't want to do anything with that. But I do want to have a little bit of solar, just enough to recharge my phones and maybe a little bit of light because that's really all I needed. And recharging my rechargeable fans. I'm just gonna catch up here. Yeah, it does take some courage to be doing stuff in public. Today is a really good example of that. It the sugar-free stuff, it depends what kind it is. I think it's erythritol. It's really good for your teeth, but it has a really bad laxative effect. So you have to be very careful. Plus, you can't use it if you have animals. If they get any of that, it's toxic. So, yeah, you have to be really careful with that. Auntie wants to know when Nate's coming back. Yeah, travel dreamer. I highly recommend taking the back seats out. Like Nate had done it, and then I was looking at it. I'm like, I can do that. Is that an ambulance down there? It looks like one that's maybe converted. Let's go run. No, they're already too far gone. I always like to see other ambos on the road. But yeah, so I saw Nate, so I'm like, yeah, I can do this. I the video shows me taking off, but I have to admit to you guys, Nate did help me a little bit. My arms was so tired with that very last nut getting it off there because it was just seized right on there. So he did help me with that. Thank you, Nate. There's always a reason for a back seat. There's a whole lot of better reasons not to have one. So I would suspect. Crickets. See you on a wander. Cricket flower, it's a thing. Ew. Oh, and I have these almond flour keto crackers, and Tracy still needs to send me a picture of what they were. That was like a big bus. Um, how weird is that? Anyways, I gotta find out what they were, but they're really good with guacamole. But I bet you they were chock full of calories, even though that's not the part I'm focusing on. Hey, Robin Jan, good to see you. Eating crickets is a non-survival situation, right? Sugar-free Cool Whip is awesome. Yeah, you got to be careful with some of those things. Some of the things that say sugar-free actually have carbs. You want things that are the most fat in it. Those are usually the ones that have the least amount of carbs. So, but just check it out. I've done keto before, but it scared you too, Keely. Okay. Yeah, they are very friendly. You got scared too. Healthy chips, actually called food. Rolo pretzel turtles. Oh my gosh, you're killing me. You're killing me. That sounds so good. Wait, chocolate? What do we hear? Back seats hold the special memories of your youth. What? Our prime minister invested 8 million in cricket farms? I didn't know that. Huh. Seeing you convert your Equinox makes me want to convert mine. Then I can share it as an RV for cheaper insurance. I don't know. Well, maybe it's different in Manitoba where you're from, but here you have to have permanently installed certain things, like your sink, for example, for it to work. I do need to change the insurance on the ambulance, though. It should go down when I get it done. I missed some of this about the cricket flower. Well, you let me know if you're coming to Canada. Ew. Ew. Ew, ew, ew. So one of the things I really wanted to do when I went to Calgary, I was looking up all these keto stores where they sell all this really neat stuff done keto. Again, they're over processed and they're expensive, but because I didn't want to stay in Calgary long, it was crazy. It was a long weekend. Alberta Culture Days was that weekend. Pride was that weekend. It was, oh my gosh, it was overwhelming. I mean, don't get me wrong, I like visiting cities, but I don't think I'd ever want to live in one again. And the older I get, the more I enjoy this. It's just peaceful, it's relaxing. I read an entire book today. Like it was fabulous. And it's outside and I'm in the fresh air and I'm just loving it. And you get in the cities and it's just constant noise. But yesterday, I woke up at 3:30 in the morning and I came out and it was a stillness like I had never felt before. Not even a whisper of wind, like nothing. Nothing was moving. And there was no noise. No noise. It just caught me off guard and it was so awesome. I just had to sit out there for a while and enjoy just that empty space. I put a picture on my community post, but because my nighttime photography does overexposes, it does make it look a way lighter than it actually is. But the moon was beautiful last night, and it was just an awesome, peaceful experience. Yeah, very peaceful and chillaxing for sure. For sure. Well, folks, it's been an hour. I am starting to get a little bit cold, but I want to thank everyone for being here. I I really needed this bit of a break, and I'm so glad that I have it. Um, yeah, sometimes we can't always get what we want when we want it, but we can always find another way. And there's always another way to challenge yourself. Even if something that's really scary and frustrating in the moment, after you will always have a success by overcoming it and challenging through. And it's okay to lean on the people that you need. That's why you have them in your life. The sound of silence, yeah. Yeah, you can manually adjust your phone camera. It does it between 3 and 10 seconds, Tim, and sometimes I can get it to do 30 seconds exposure. Thank you guys so much for being here. I adore all of you. I got lots of videos coming out soon. I don't know if I should drop one once or twice a week. Well, how often do you guys think I should drop those videos? I have like 7, and by the time this weekend's over, I'll probably have 8. See ya, Bree. See ya, Christine. See ya, She Devil Adventures. Hope Steve. You guys are awesome. It is a journey, isn't it, Victoria? Life is a journey. And with all the things that have gone crappy, I have to focus on all the things that have gone amazing in this year and the experiences and the friendships. It's been pretty good. Once a week, you say, are we living life at a regular time and day? Yeah, I should. Thank you, Victoria. Sending you lots of love right back. I'm going to go before any more people come by and honk at me. You'll take them anytime? Okay. I love you too, Nate. I'll be safe. You be safe too. Much love, everybody. Have a great rest of your weekend.